Welcome to the ritual, man.
My man.
So listen, man, I love you. Let me tell y'all, Mark Lay, extraordinary brother, my brother, and he's family to me, man. And from the day I met him, it was genuine. He's the same person now that he was then. He's extended himself, his family to me. He's the king of Aliquippa. He is Ivy League educated. He's the shit, man. He's the shit. And this is my boy.
Well, I tell y'all what, the reality is life has many ups and downs.
Yeah.
And when I was up, John was my man.
Hey.
When I was down, when I first came home, John was there for me.
100%.
So the reality is, in life, you get a chance to meet 2 or 3 true brothers,
That's
true
right.
friends.
That's right.
And you one of them.
My man. I want to talk about Miami. I want to talk about my celebrity pool party that I hosted and Cardi B just showed up and performed and threw the mic at a girl. I want to talk about that. But I want to tell you, man, you gave me one experience of my life that I've never duplicated to this point. I'm trying to get back out of the country with you, but you put me on a seaplane. Dude, we landed in the water and took off in the what? In the water. That was incredible. In the Virgin Islands, man.
Yeah, I tell you what. Well, you always put on a good show. But that weekend we went to St. Croix was incredible.
Man.
And one of our boys always say, if you ain't flown a seaplane,
he don't fuck with you.
Yeah, we ain't fooling with you.
Yeah, he don't like you.
But the reality is, when we get together, it ain't no bills.
That's right.
It ain't who's the night this. We just do what we do.
It's love, man.
And from the time I remember on that trip, we went snorkeling. And the host was taking us out in the water, and y'all stayed on the boat.
That's right.
But the reality is, when Randy told that man, you better get them back, or I'm going to Gilligan this motherfucker back to the island. The reality, it was just a great trip. It was a great trip from start to finish.
So,
it really was.
So another guy who I'm going to have on, who my man, just like Mark, is Randy. I call him Randy the Macho Man Savage. Good, man, Randy Ford. So what the hell we got to get Randy on ASAP.
Right.
But I'm not getting in the water like that. But I'm like a fish.
But we saw sharks. We saw everything. It was the whole trip was quite the experience.
Yeah, it was.
It was quite the experience.
Is Kelly here? Is she floating around?
Yeah, she's upstairs somewhere.
Kelly's his wife. She's floating around. So we'll keep it PG.
Exactly. I think we should, because you start talking about Vegas and all those trips, I might be on the unemployment line.
And tell me. So, man, tell me about you, man. Tell me, I know you, but again, I set this up so that you can have a platform to tell other people so that we can try to inspire, motivate, and give inspiration to people who may need it or people who may be more successful than us and want more, or someone who's not, who's looking to start the grind or who's in the middle of the grind and they're looking for someone or some experience to be like similar to them. So tell me about you.
I like you said, I grew up in Aliquippa, so I grew up in the hood. I was poor and didn't even know it. After that, I was blessed to go to Columbia University, Ivy League. And, while I was there, the Barack Obamas and all those people were there and got a chance to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I went to Wall Street. And I tell people all the time, like I say, my highs were very high. Working as a trader on Wall Street, I made a lot of money.
Very, very high.
Met a lot of people, life experiences, got a chance to meet presidents of the United States and all that kind of stuff. Started my own firm, bought a building downtown Pittsburgh.
From Aliquippa?
From Aliquippa, and grew my firm to over $4 billion in assets. Doing great, rolling, private planes, hanging out with the JBs of the world. Life is great. Got caught up in some mess dealing with some presidential elections that I had nothing to do with. Ended up doing 144 months in the feds.
Man.
And I tell people though, no matter what your life experiences are, the highs or the lows, you could learn something from all of them.
Yeah.
And I did. I would never want to go back. It was not a place that I was fond of, but I met some good brothers, and it taught me a lot about myself, it taught me a lot about life in general. Because I was one of them guys, even though I was from Aliquippa, I was on the street making all this money, and I said, man, they selling drugs, they should go to jail, or they doing this, that, and the other. If they did wrong, they should go to jail. Man, I learned that 3/4 of the people who are incarcerated should not be incarcerated. 25% are crash dummies, and they do belong in jail.
Right.
But that's 75% of brothers, they was doing it trying to help their families. They was trying to do it for they didn't know because they lacked education or they lacked the tools to be successful. But I don't want to get too deep and too sentimental, but the reality is, I think what you bring to the forefront is, no matter who you are, you have a chance to be successful if you're willing to put in the time, put in the hard work, do what you have to do. And that's what I learned from you. And that's what I learned from our friendship. Yeah. I mean that. I mean that.
So one thing I live by, man, and whether you're throwing papers or you're on Wall Street, I think it's important that you give everything. Right. You have to give everything for success. If you don't, you'll fall short. And that giving everything is even sacrificing a relationship with your family. Because if you're not straight, they're not straight. You can't provide if you don't have.
To whom much is given, much is required. And I just think you do what you got to do, and that's what I do. I do what I have at this age.
At a very high level.
I'm getting old. I'm getting tired of working, but I give it my all. Yeah. When I'm working, I'm working. When I'm playing, I'm playing. I go hard, and I just think that's what life is about. Those experiences. Like I said, when we were in St. Croix, we're gonna fly in the seaplane. We're gonna take off in the ocean and we're gonna land in the ocean. If you're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. Yeah. And that's the same thing about business. I tell everybody, don't aspire to make $1 million or $10 million or $100 million. Some people happy making $60,000 with a Ford Explorer and going on one vacation. Absolutely not. So I just say, whatever you do, go hard. And do it like you say, do it the best you can.
Yeah, whatever you deem as your measure of success, do it. It's not up to somebody else.
Exactly. No one can tell me, no one who my friends are going to be, no one's going to tell me if I'm successful or not. And what I've learned, though, throughout my life experiences is that things don't make me happy. I like things. Right. Like, I like cars, and I like my little condo, and I like being able to travel all over the world. But those things don't make me successul. My friends, my boys, that's how I know I'm successful. And that's just how I live my life.
I'm gonna use that, man. We never talked about that. I like that, man. It's because it's relationships. Dude.
Right.
It's the relationships who make us who we are.
At the end of the day. When when the chips are down and it was nobody there.
Hey.
Call JB. He gonna answer the phone.
Yeah, where we going?
Exactly. What you need. What you need.
I'm there. Where you at?
No, and that's a fact. And that's more important than what you actually gave me, knowing the fact that you're gonna answer the phone.
Man.
Because a lot of times, boy, when I was gone, you call somebody.
Nobody's answering the phone.
Voicemail. And that's just a fact of life. That's a fact of life.
Yeah. When you think about John, man, what do you think?
Louboutin John.
What up, dog?
I'm telling you, when we go to a party, it's about John. Okay. When we working out, it's about John.
They gotta see me.
Yeah. See, most people haven't seen Big John versus the John we're looking at now.
That's another thing.
The discipline that it took, though. See, I was there. You know, I was there when we got up every morning, 5 days a week in that gym, working out. And when some of the mornings coming off a long night, you don't want to be there. Yeah. But you did what you had to do. Yeah. And you transformed yourself to being the man you are now. There we go, Louboutin John. But no, I think you go hard. That's what I love about you. And I tell people this too. It's hard for you to love me if you don't love yourself. Yeah. And John loved John. Hey, that's it. And that's a good thing. Mark loves Mark.
That's right.
I mean that. But so when I think of John, I say that brother loves himself. He loves his life. He lives life to the fullest. That's right. And he wants everybody around him to have that same experience.
I love that, man. I love that. So listen, man, I want to officially welcome you to the Rich Room, man.
My man.
Right, but again, Mark Lay, King of Aliquippa, brother of mine, entrepreneur extraordinaire. We haven't even talked about the money he made, it's incredible to have friends like that. So listen, again, we're the Rich Room. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook, on YouTube. We're here. Listen, we coming, guys, and we want to help you inspire. So I want you to be on the show, right? You know what I mean? Because this is about us. This is about people who we consider normal, people like talking about our successes. Now, we'll have some celebrities on here, of course, but it's really about us. I want you on. So hit me up.